All wings report in.
HouseDog, standing by.
Mother Goose, standing by.
Lowtech Tuck, standing by.
Lock S-foils in attack position. Animal Squadron ready for battle.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Animal Squadron podcast. I'm your host, HouseDog, and with me, as always, he's never missed an episode. The one,
Never.
the only, Mother Goose.
Hello, everybody. Happy to be back. Happy to be talking about Star Wars.
Wait, is there is episodes of just me and Tuck, right?
I think there's two. I think editor me slipped some audio in there to give you guys a hard time, but I think there's two I've missed.
Technically, I think you have appeared in every episode ever.
I think so. At least a little bit. A little tidbit of me. Couldn't let the audience go waiting.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just me and you today. Tuck's dead. We finally kicked him off the podcast.
We killed Tucker.
The show is finally back where it should be. Just me and you. It's taken forever to get rid of him.
What is that creature? What did we say he was? Like, we were trying to figure out an animal for him to be the Star Wars bat-like thing. What is that? I can't remember the name.
He's a Mynock. We haven't called him that in a while.
Not
but now he's gone, so it doesn't matter anyways.
We will miss him forever.
Nah, not really.
My heart aches for him.
No, Tuck is not dead. He's just away on business.
How dare he be a responsible adult?
I know, this is his real job, not the one that pays him.
Yeah, the podcast we do for an hour a week.
Yeah. That
Hey,
has no commission whatsoever attached to it.
Yeah, why don't you guys follow us so we can turn this into a real job? Please and thank you.
Yeah, I'm tired. I want to do this instead of everything else.
I want to just sit around and talk about Star Wars with my friends, please.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal, man. Just to sit around and talk about Star Wars.
For sure.
No, but speaking of Star Wars, Elijah, what are we doing today?
Today we are talking about The Bad Batch, episode 9, season 3, episode 9, The Harbinger. So, just kind of general thoughts. No spoilers, but I have seen the whole season up to this point. This is by far, I think, my favorite or second favorite episode. It's a real toss-up right now between this and the finale. But I think I'm leaning a little more towards this.
I did want to ask you while we were on how the season finishes. Am I going to be disappointed? Is it going to be a good batch or a bad batch, Elijah, in the words of Tuck?
It's a really good episode. Phenomenal episode. I will fully admit that I cried. Now, were those sad tears or happy tears? I'm not saying. That's for you to figure out. But what did you think of this episode?
Definitely, I don't know. This season was weird. At some points it feels like not a lot has happened, especially for this being the final series of Clone Wars. Yeah. And it kind of feels like we dropped off. Not like quality or anything, but I know the overall story is about the M count and everything, but maybe it happens in these, because there's 14 episodes in the season, right?
15
total,
but yeah,
15?
Pretty close. Yeah.
So maybe a lot more happens in the final 6 episodes of the show. Only you know that answer, not me. But for kind of the halfway point, or over the halfway point in this season, I just feel like not enough has happened. Like in the beginning, we started off really hot with the Tanta stuff and everything, and I feel like the momentum is just kind of slowing down. Yeah,
no, I get that. Yes, you were right. Again, no spoilers, but I definitely think these next 6 episodes really pick up. Like I said last week, episode 8 was the last episode that I just didn't really enjoy. Like, I didn't hate it, but it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think from this point forward, like, this season really gets good.
My question is, How did Tuck know that Ventress was coming back? Because I didn't even think it was Ventress. I didn't know who it was.
She was in the trailer.
Was she? Okay. Yeah. See,
Yeah,
I never watched the trailers for stuff anymore.
No, that's fair. I think that I kind of wish Star Wars would hold some more of these like reveals to their like close to their chest and not show it off in the trailer. Like, I think I would have lost my mind if I didn't know she was coming and I saw Ventress.
Yeah, I'm glad Ventress is back. You know, I've wondered about her since Clone Wars, and I'm glad that they chose her to like do this initial testing of Omega.
Yeah, for sure. And they said, this goes kind of against what happens in the Dark Disciple novel, which I vaguely know what happens, but not enough to actually talk about it. But they said that this is still canon to what, like, they didn't retcon anything, but they didn't really fully explain how she came back.
Well, we know she's been, a bounty hunter since the end of the Clone Wars.
Right. Which, sorry, spoilers, for the novel, she dies at the end.
I thought I heard that. I mean, I have the novel right here. You actually bought it for me. I just haven't read it yet.
That's okay.
I have so many Star Wars books in here that I need to read. Like, I never finished Master and Apprentice, it was a really cool book, the parts that I read. I've got the Ahsoka book up there, Queen's Shadow, which is the Padme book.
Yeah.
Dark Disciples over here, A New Dawn, which is a Rebels book. And then there's a couple more over there that I haven't read them. And a lot of the times, I don't ever, like everybody else, I hardly ever use physical books anymore. It's either on my phone or I do the audiobook thing because, I can get through a Star Wars audiobook real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not entirely true. I read, I almost finished out the original Thrawn series. I need to finish that because those were really good. And I read those.
Like the one from the 90s? Original?
Yes. Yeah,
okay,
the original Thrawn trilogy. I mean, still by Timothy Zahn, but it was his first iteration of it. And those are really good.
Yeah. It's actually the first Star Wars novel I read was Heir to the Empire, which, I mean, I didn't even read most of it. I just read a little bit of it. But, like, I still have it on my shelf, and I look at it, and I'm like, I should probably finish that at some point.
Yeah, reading those, though, I'm glad that they didn't really change Thrawn, which I never really got to talk to you guys about Ahsoka.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Which, I think is going to be really great is we have the Tales of the Empire, which I think is what we're going to be talking about next week, which will feature Thrawn just a little bit. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, Thrawn wasn't bad in Ahsoka.
Yeah. But,
just obviously things are being set up for another thing. And that's fine. And I think we did, you guys kind of briefly asked me my opinion about Ahsoka whenever I first came back. And the setup for something bigger is fine in my opinion, but I don't know. The Ahsoka show was just kind of weak for me.
Yeah, that's fair. And in terms of Thrawn, I think, a lot of fans really wanted Thrawn to be like the same Thrawn we see in the novels. But we've got to remember that he, this is like 20 years later. A lot's happened and he's changed and he's gotten darker. And I think, Thrawn starts as this really good character, and by Ahsoka, he is definitely an evil character. And I really like the shift that we get from the two Thrawn trilogies that are canon, what we see in Rebels, what we're about to see in Empire, and then, of course, Ahsoka.
Yeah, I had a point that was going to bring everything back to Bad Batch somehow, but I don't know how I was going to do it.
M counts.
I don't know. But anyways, yeah, episode 9. Ventress shows up.
9. Ventress shows up. I'm really sad. Tuck and I talked a lot about when we watched the trailer about Ventress and how maybe this could fit into canon and so on and so forth. And so I'm a little sad he's missing this episode, but we'll definitely just get his general thoughts next episode. Also, 100%, I knew we were going to have to talk about it. There's a reason that you and Tuck are happily married and I'm still single, because Asajj is so hot, and I definitely feel like I have such a skewed attraction to women, if that makes sense. And I'm not just talking about hair, like good Asajj with the hair. I'm talking bald Asajj from Clone Wars 2. Don't just look at... Hey, say something. Don't look at me like this.
No, I'm just gonna keep letting you go, talking about your weird cartoon fantasies as I stare in the virginity corner.
To the virginity corner. Listen, I don't know. Just scary evil lady kind of does it for me.
Oh, one more quick tangent. I saw a video the other day, and your virginity corner reminded me of it. Did you see that Funko Pop trailer game that they're making?
Yeah.
It kind of low-key looks fun. I don't know.
It does look fun. I think it's going to be kind of like Skylanders or Lego Dimensions. Disney Infinity-esque. So I think that'll be interesting. I also think that the boxes for the actual like pops you can buy are going to be a different color that you can use in the game. And I 100%, as fun as the game looks, I 100% believe it is they like sat down and they're like, how do we get these guys to buy pops that we've already sold to them?
Yeah. I hate that everything is like such a cash grab these days in the video game world. You know, like everything is about, like, used to, whenever you bought a, you know, definitive edition or, you know, the special edition of a game or something, or you pre-ordered it, I felt like you actually got some decent stuff. But now there's like no point in pre-ordering games anymore.
Dude, I know. And actually, so on that topic, but bringing it back to Star Wars, have you looked at the Star Wars Outlaws pre-order?
I think I looked at it briefly the other day because I thought about it. And I think the most you get is what? You get 3 days early access or some nonsense?
Yeah, there's one edition that comes with 3 days early access, but
do you have those price points pulled up? Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, there's a $70 one, which is base price now. Then there's the gold edition, which Ubisoft, come on, don't give me ads, buddy. Nobody wants this. Which is $110, and that comes
for
with
the 3 day early.
Yeah, 3 day early access and the season pass, which I don't know what the season pass is going to look like.
Why is there a season pass for a game that's story-based?
A single-player game, right? And then there's a $130 edition, the Ultimate Edition, which comes with all that, Rogue Infiltrator bundle, Sabacc Shark bundle, and a digital art book, which the digital art book, I love a good art book, but $130.
I don't like that you say Sabacc Shark card or something. I'm sorry.
Sabacc, and then it's Shark bundle.
Please don't tell me that that's in-game currency, like V-Bucks or whatever. Is that still a thing, V-Bucks?
Yes, the Shark bundle, including cosmetics for Kay and her blaster, Nyx, the speeder, and the trailblazer. And for those that don't know, Nyx is the little like axolotl creature thing. So yeah, they're selling essentially skins for everything. So that's all another thing. That's all like definitive editions or ultimate or collector's editions give you these days. It's just like skins and stuff, and it's like, well, why? I mean, don't get me wrong, whenever the Lego Skywalker Saga came out a couple years ago, I caved and I bought like the Ultimate Edition. Yeah,
because I wanted all the characters.
You got like extra characters. Yeah,
you got like characters from every era and everything. But I mean, it's also, why can't it be like the golden era of video games? Whenever you would just, you know, have to work hard to buy those characters in the little shop with your studs or whatever. Like or you had to get all the mini kits, or, you know, the red bricks. Like, why is everything? Why do I have to pay for a cosmetic or something?
Some extra cosmetic stuff a little bit, like Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order both had a deluxe edition, which came with a couple extra cosmetics.
Yep.
Which I've actually bought. I waited and I bought both of those deluxe edition upgrades on sale for like half the price pretty recently. And like, I don't mind stuff like that because it's one extra purchase with some optional cosmetics if you want it. You know, it's not like, and like, you know, free to play games. Okay, whatever. They got to make their money some way. But games like Diablo or Call of Duty or maybe Star Wars Outlaws, where you pay $70 up front and then they still have a full bought battle pass, a full shop with skins. Like, that is crazy to me.
Yeah, for a single player game. And I mean, it'd be really cool if eventually they came out with like a multiplayer Star Wars Outlaws where it's like, you know, you
For
have
sure.
your group of friends and you guys, you know, have your own little like criminal empire or whatever. That would be cool. But this is a single player game.
Yeah, and like, so I just beat Ubisoft is not the best. Like, I just beat Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and like, again, it was man, I think you could spend for the deluxe edition, if you're paying full price, it's like $120, $140. I got it on sale for like $40. I felt like I got a good deal on it, but base price is like $120. And that comes with all the DLC. It's very nice. But then there's just like tons and tons of cosmetic options. And that is also made by Ubisoft. So I kind of feel like that's how Outlaws is going to be, where there'll be a bundle with all the DLC and stuff, and that'll be great. But there'll also be a lot of cosmetics to buy.
I don't know. I guess I just long for simpler times.
For sure. For sure. But, you know, we don't know for sure. Outlaws may not be that bad. It might be more like Jedi Survivor, where there are a couple things and that's all. But we'll just have to see. Anyway, Bad Batch, Episode 9, The Harbinger. We start out with Omega walking to a cave. I'm not sure if we've seen this cave before or not.
I thought it was going to be like a force cave or something whenever Batcher started freaking out.
Yeah, kind of like on Dagobah or whatever planet that Luke is on in the sequel trilogy.
Is that Octo?
Yeah, that one.
That place.
That place.
Yeah, I thought it was
I've
going to be
already
a force
forgotten.
cave.
I had a little suspicion too.
Just with the
that
way
it
that
might be.
Batcher was freaking out, and then I forgot that Ventress was like hiding in that cave. Because I watched this episode one time, and then obviously I rewatched it today before we recorded, just so I could remember things a little bit better. And I was like, "Is this a force cave?" Because I knew this was the whole M Count episode with
Right.
with her.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm watching through the episode now because I was too lazy to take notes today. I've been trying to be better about taking notes, but not today. We did miss a scene just with our clone, the Bad Batch clones talking. I don't think there was anything really important there. I like how they did this. I mean, it's a classic film scene where, you know, Omega turns around, there's Ventress, and then it cuts back to the Bad Batch, and you're not really sure, like, oh, is Ventress gonna hurt her? You know, is she good now? What's happening? You know, just to build a little extra suspense.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of stopped thinking Ventress was a bad person, you know, back in Clone Wars whenever she gets her last arc that we have with her whenever she helps Ahsoka.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been a while because that was season 6, right? Or was that 5? Where
I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been so long. I mean, that's not true. I think I rewatched Clone Wars in its entirety maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Let's see. Yeah, The Wrong Jedi. That's season 5. So it has been a long time since we've seen Ventress.
It has been. Which reminds me, at the time we're recording this, it's May 2nd, so happy May the 4th to everyone. Hope you...
Happy May the 4th!
Yeah. Real quick, Elijah, how are you spending your May 4th?
Oh, I am super excited. So I am going to go see The Phantom Menace, theatrical re-release with the Acolyte little teaser that they're going to be throwing in there too. I'm really excited.
Nice.
I'm so mad though because I bought the tickets to go see it, and literally like 5 minutes after I bought the tickets, my sister sent me a link. My city is doing a live performance of the episode 4 soundtrack at the exact same time as the movie, and I could have gone any time. Like, they had showings all day for the movie, but of course I bought the tickets for the exact same time as the performance. Anyway, so I'm still gonna get to enjoy some Star Wars, but I'm a little sad I'll be missing about that.
The orchestra would be very cool,
right? Especially, I mean, episode 4 just has such an amazing soundtrack. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's definitely up there.
I mean, Luke's theme is one of my favorites.
Right? How about you, buddy? What are you doing for May the 4th?
I don't know. I completely forgot that they were doing the theatrical releases again in select areas, so I haven't even looked. I will tell you, though, the theatrical release of episode 1 is very good. I have seen that one before. They did it back whenever we were in high school. I don't remember what year, but I remember they did it then, and I went and saw it. It was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, if we might end up talking about next week, depending on if all of us get to go see the episode episode 1 re-release, we may talk a little bit about the Acolyte as well, just saying we're getting that teaser. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a minute, 10 minutes, 15, I don't see it going longer than 15, but, just get our first thoughts on what it is.
Speaking of Acolyte, we're just everywhere this episode, but I don't care.
Sorry, besties. What promise we'll talk about the Bad Batch.
Acolyte, I saw a video the other day. So I know you weren't super sure about the time period here. And I know Tuck was talking about it, I think, a couple episodes ago. But the time period does match up for the time that Plagueis will be around. And Palpatine is young enough to actually be around as well as Plagueis's apprentice.
I hate to be that guy. I don't know if that's true or not.
It lines up.
At least the Palpatine thing, because I was under the impression that Acolyte takes place 130 years before episode 1.
I don't think it's that long. I think it's like 50 years.
The High Republic era officially ends, if I'm remembering correctly, I think 80 years before episode 1.
I don't know. Maybe that video was wrong, but I was pretty hyped to think that Plagueis might be around.
It could be. Do we know how long his species lives?
The Moon or Mune? I think they live like pretty long time because Plagueis was around for a while.
Yeah, and I'm thinking potentially maybe Darth Tenebris, because that was Plagueis' master, right? Remembering correctly?
You are correct, sir. He was a Bith, which is the Cantina Band guys.
The Jizz players.
Yes, they're fantastic Jizz players.
Did you see that Disney's trying to change the name?
Time to start our petition against Disney officially.
I'm sorry, Disney. It will always be Jizz in my heart.
This is where I draw the line. This is my molehill that I will die on.
You can get rid of Legends and EU canon, but you cannot get rid of Jizz.
This is the one thing that George Lucas wanted.
It was a gift, truly.
Yeah, dude, if Plagueis is around for Acolyte, I think I'll lose it.
Same. That would be really, really cool. And, I could definitely be wrong on the timeline of everything, and we may see Palpatine.
Who knows?
Okay, so I just looked it up. The Moon can live more than 100 standard years, so I could see it maybe being... I mean, even if it is 130 years, it could still potentially be Plagueis.
Could be. I mean,
or
I don't... I'm hyped.
See Tenebris as an apprentice? Maybe learn some more about him and his master, because I know Tenebris. I don't know Tenebris's master.
I don't know that either. I think it's mentioned in the Plagueis book, maybe. But I mean, Tenebris might, because Tenebris is only at the very beginning of the book, and then he's killed off.
Okay, so it looks like it was a Twi'lek Sith Lord was his master. And actually, wait, sorry, let me just check. Oh, okay. This is Legends. This information. So I'm not sure if we have a canon master for him.
What does it matter? Dave Filoni's gonna go into Legends anyways.
And you know, and good for him. And good for him. Anyway, let's pull it back to Bad Batch. I don't know. This was a very simple episode. Like, not a lot happens, really. Ventress shows up. They see her. She talks about being the contact from Finnick. And then most of it is just kind of a quote-unquote training arc as Ventress is trying to figure out if Omega is Force-sensitive.
Yeah, and Ventress has a yellow lightsaber now.
And she does. Yeah, okay, so do you want to jump to their fight? Because I think that's something I really want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, not much happens. Ventress shows up. They ask her, what's M count? And then a little training arc ensues, which I like that we get, the 3 basic lessons of the Force. I like that. And after Omega's first test, Ventress sends her away because the Bad Batch has figured out that it is Ventress, and they pulled up her old Republic files, and then they're alone in the cave, and that's when they fight each other. And
right. This fight was so freaking good. This was such a good fight.
Ventress kicks some butt, man.
Yeah, something I've really been wanting is just Force user hand-to-hand combat, because it's really cool getting to see them use their lightsabers and the Force abilities, but just something about these beings that are faster and stronger and have better reflexes than the normal person going into some hand-to-hand combat. I just love that.
Well, and at this point in the universe, we aren't seeing Jedi combat or Force user combat anymore. We've all just seen clones, and I think they handled that really well. I didn't realize how slow the clones were compared to somebody that is in tune with the Force, because Ventress seems so fast.
Right? And when she just smacked Wrecker.
Yeah, she just pimp slaps him and then kicks Hunter in the chest, takes down Crosshair. It was pretty incredible. But
yeah,
honestly, during that scene, I thought I had accidentally pressed fast forward a little bit or something just by how fast she moves.
She was moving. Yeah, for sure. And I also think this was a really great showing of the Bad Batch and how good they are. Yes, they lost, but they put up a pretty good fight against somebody who is faster and stronger than them. Just through their sheer teamwork.
They got their butts kicked.
Yeah.
And then they had to pull the gun on her.
I don't know. I really think, I don't think it just, happened. I think this is something just, that the Bad Batch, they'd fought so many times together that they just kind of knew what to do, where Hunter and Wrecker, pulled Ventress's focus to give Crosshair enough time to go get his gun.
Yeah. I mean, they know how to work together very well. They've been doing it for years now. But, I mean, they never really had to fight Jedi or anything,
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think, obviously some of the clones fought Grievous and Ventress and Dooku and Maul and Savage, but I don't think, I mean, not that we know, but we never seen the Bad Batch go against someone who's Force sensitive before.
I don't think that's ever happened, or at least not that we've seen.
Yeah.
God, I miss Savage Opress.
Hey, I got my Savage pop finally.
Dude, he was just such a cool character. Whenever he died, cool. I was so sad. I was so sad. He was such a cool... And dude, his name, so badass. Savage Opress. Such a cool name.
Such a cool name. Very, very emo, very metal, but I'm rocking with it.
And his voice actor.
Yeah,
So
also
good.
did really good. But yes, so they pull out their blasters, they start firing at her, which is when she pulls out her yellow lightsaber, which that's the shot that's in the trailer where she, like, you know, it's the side angle of her, and she's kind of bent down and her lightsaber ignites behind her. How was that, seeing that for the first time? Like, I so desperately wish I could have saw that in the episode and not in the trailer.
Yeah, I just didn't expect her to have it. I thought it was going to be a red lightsaber.
Yeah,
I honestly kind of forgot today.
that's fair. A line that I really like that I can't remember if it's I think it's Omega comes back and, you know, she's got, I think, Wrecker in the air with the Force and her blade down at Hunter, and they're talking, and she's trying to explain, like, hey, I'm not your enemy. And Crosshair says something about her being evil, and Omega says, I never gave up on you. And that line hit. That line hit.
That was a good one.
Definitely one of my favorites. I think for the series as a whole, like, because I mean, it just kind of encapsulates literally the first 2.5 seasons.
Yeah. And I mean, that's been Asajj's life since, you know, before the end of the war.
I love that we got the Dark Disciple novel, but I really do hope that we get that arc adapted as a Tales of the Jedi in the future. You know, I don't know. Have you gone through and looked up there's a video that covers all of the Lost Clone Wars arcs.
Is there?
Yeah, there's 40 episodes that got cut. So, and I think it's 8 arcs in total.
Of Clone Wars?
It's yeah. It was supposed to be after season 6, before season 7. So some of those arcs did get adapted into the season 7. Most of them, though, got cut. That's where we get the Dark Disciple storyline, I believe. That's the comic where we see Maul and Mother Talzin fight, I believe, Dooku, and it's either Dooku and Grievous or Dooku and Palpatine, or maybe Dooku, Palpatine, and Grievous. I can't remember, but, like, there were a lot of really interesting arcs that got cut. Anyway, I'm really hoping, like, specifically the Ventress one and some of the others will get adapted into Tales of the whatever. Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Clone, Tales of the Republic, whatever. Because I really would love to see, like, more Ventress's story animated.
I don't think we're going to get that anytime soon. I think this is kind of just a one-off. It might be cool to see Ventress in live action, maybe. I mean...
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
After what they did, though, to the... what's the lead Inquisitor? What's his...
The Grand Inquisitor? They gave him the stumpy head?
Yeah, after that. Because, I mean... They had his species in episode 3, and they look so cool. I mean, I know the prosthetic for that was, like, really hard to do. But, I mean, that was also back in 2008, bro.
Yeah.
Everything is so much better now as far as, like, practical effects and stuff. I mean, you're telling me you couldn't recreate that look?
This is something I think we talked about in our Kenobi episode that got cut. So, you know, specifically, it was hard for the actor to talk in with that prosthetic. So I was like, oh, it's not, you know, that makes sense. They want him to be able to talk properly, whatever. The Grand Inquisitor doesn't really even talk that much in the Kenobi series. Like,
no.
I think it would have been okay to give him the prosthetic head, but whatever.
Such is life.
Asajj is back. We get one of the best fight scenes, I think, in animated Star Wars. Maybe not the best, but definitely up there.
For sure.
And they move on to their next test where they take a boat out into the water, and we find out that Asajj has the animal connection force ability, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but we know for sure that Ezra has it, and I think Anakin or Obi-Wan has it. I can't remember which, though.
I think all Jedi have it. I think it's just the level of attunement. I think some are more predisposed than others. Maybe?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, Ahsoka has it, too. We see her use it in Tales of the Jedi as a baby.
It's been a long time since I've seen Tales of the Jedi. I'm not gonna lie.
No, that's okay. So we see her communing with some normal fish, and then she calls a big tentacle monster accidentally.
I kind of thought it just showed up. I wasn't sure. I kind of thought maybe she accidentally summoned it, like not purposely, but just like some of her like residual energy from just everything that's happened to her, maybe.
Yeah, some of the dark. That's exactly what I was thinking. Some of that dark side energy maybe was still inside of her.
Yeah. And then that giant sea monster thing shows up, which I tried to figure out what it was. I think it's called a Varathian.
Okay. Yeah.
I couldn't, because I mean, I had the subtitles on like always, and I just saw its name really quick, but I think it's a Varathian. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Nice.
It was cool though. I liked it. Giant squid.
Yeah.
Fish,
Well, that's very
crab.
cool. A detail I really liked is that like its mouth almost was like the same shape as the pupil of its eye. Like kind of that waviness to it.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And it had really big purple eyes.
It was a sweet little thing. I wanted to pet it. But I wanted to pet all creatures, so I mean,
You just want to pet Asajj, you freak.
no.
Yes.
Listen, I'm not the only one that thinks she's hot, okay?
Oh, I'm sure there's a bunch of forums for you sick freaks out there.
No. Anyway, so she connects with the tentacle monster, makes peace with it. They get picked up by the crew, and then Asajj tells the Bad Batch that she doesn't believe not Ahsoka, Omega has a connection to the Force. At least that's what she tells Omega, and her and Wrecker leave, and Crosshair says, "You're lying." Someone says something about what part, and they kind of talk about how Omega, if she did have the Force, would have to be trained and would have to leave the Bad Batch. And it kind of left it into the air if she was actually Force sensitive or not. What did you think?
I think she is, but the level at which is disputed. I don't think
Yeah.
Asajj was lying about that. I think she told Omega that so that she wouldn't be like super influenced on what to do, because she already told Omega whenever they were out in the boat, she was like, if you want to learn how to use this, the people that you're with now they're never going to be able to teach you because they have no knowledge of it.
Right.
So I think she said that to her whenever they were back in the cave, not to influence her decision fully.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I do think it would
agree.
be interesting if Omega did somehow wind up with Asajj, and I think she would be safer with Asajj.
A Asajj, like Omega was the apprentice, and Asajj taught her how to use the Force.
Yeah, I mean, we're just like being with her instead of the Bad Batch.
Yeah. I think that would be really cool. Which I don't know. Just being honest, I'm not really sure anymore if she is Force sensitive, which kind of goes into stuff that happens in the next couple episodes, so I won't say more. But it's a discussion I'm really excited to dive deeper in.
It'll be interesting to see where it goes. I'm really ready to get back to the Tantus stuff, though.
We're so close. We're almost there, buddy.
This has been a very long season for me. I'm getting burned out on Bad Batch. It's like whenever we did
When we did it originally.
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know what? Leave a comment or something, or email us if you'd like us to start reviewing like, you know, a half season at a time. Because I think for this Tales of the Empire, I think we're gonna do each arc as their own episode for Barriss
and Morgan. That's what we were talking about. Either because Tales of the Jedi, we did just one episode on the whole thing, so we might do that again, or we might split it up by character and do 2 episodes.
I think that'd be fun.
But Tales of the Empire, you know, they'll be short, so they'll be like 10-15 minutes, so it'll be a little easier to get through multiple episodes. Yeah, I don't really know, and yeah, I think Mac's right. Audience, let us know, because you know, we tried to do 4 episode chunks for season 1 and season 2, and that was just a little too much trying to consume that much and then talk about it, and I feel like it kind of burned us out. But doing it this way, you know, instead of doing it over the course of 4 weeks, we're doing it over the course of 15 weeks, which also is a lot. And I'm kind of worried about us burning out as well. So, like, compared to, you know, season 1 and season 2, and now, like, what are you enjoying listening to more? The chunks of episodes or, like, individual episodes? Because I think either or, we're going to kind of feel a little Bad Batch burned out by the end.
But I mean, hey, we got Tales of the Empire coming, and I'm
Tales
psyched.
of the Empire.
I'm
Same.
psyched.
Did you have any other thoughts about this episode?
No, but one Star Wars thing that I've been enjoying lately is all these like TikTok edits of like Vader.
Yeah.
Like those like really edited videos where it's like they pull from like Obi-Wan and stuff, and like even like Rebels and whatnot, and they're just like these really sick edits. I think I've sent you a couple of them, haven't I?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And dude, they just go so hard. And I don't know why lately I've just been on like anytime one of those pops up, I watch all of it. I've been on this like big Vader kick. I've kind of wanted to watch Obi-Wan again. I don't know what's going on with me. Yeah,
maybe we'll do another shot at the Obi-Wan episode soon.
I don't know. Ah, God, I just love Obi-Wan so much. I don't know what it is.
It's not a perfect show. It definitely has some issues here or there, but I think overall it's really high quality. And like, I've been thinking a lot about that final fight between Obi-Wan and Vader in the end.
Oh, so good.
So good.
You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I
did. Yeah. Oh, such a good line.
I am not your failure, Obi-Wan. Oh, that scene just goes so hard. And actually, I saw someone, they took a different take on that whole dialogue. They were like, these two have both been in agony for 10 years over what they did to each other the last time they saw each other. And
that hurts.
Yeah, someone took the scene a different way and said that it was Anakin or Vader, however you want to look at it, releasing Obi-Wan from that pain. You know, that he's been blaming himself for 10 years, that he didn't kill Anakin Skywalker.
I'm crying.
I thought it was an interesting view on that scene for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Thought it was a very interesting take.
Wow.
Yeah, it kind of like destroys your soul.
I don't know how to emotionally process this. I'm having some very big feelings.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what's been up with my TikTok lately, but it's all like Vader stuff and whatnot, and I've been totally down for it because these edits people are making are like super sick.
Hell yeah. Well, unless there's anything about this episode, we should probably end it here.
I don't know. Not much has happened these past couple episodes, really.
Yeah. Oh, one just small note. I really liked Asajj's ship.
Yeah, her ship was cool. I want to know how she purified her crystal.
Yeah, I don't think. So that might be covered in the Dark Disciple novel. I don't think that's her red crystal. Because remember, Barriss steals her sabers. So I think she had to go get a new crystal.
Barriss steals her lightsabers?
Yeah, they, what happened? I think it's like one of the traps or something, but the red lightsabers that Barriss uses when she fights Anakin are Asajj Ventress's sabers.
How'd she get them?
Yeah, I don't... Something happens when Asajj is helping Ahsoka that she loses her lightsabers, and I just can't remember how or what.
Well, we know she loses one escaping from the CIS at one point, because she only has one. But that looked like her lightsaber, because it's got the curved hilt and everything.
That is fair. So two things. It's possible that she may have gone and gotten her sabers back from the Jedi Temple after it fell, or she just built a second one that, like, the same design.
Could be possible. I don't know. It's been a long time. It's probably discussed in Dark Disciple, but since neither of us have read it.
I know. I definitely want to read it at some point.
Right, because it's Quinlan Voss.
Yeah, and that they're I'm really interested because I've heard they have a really cute love story in it, and I ship them. I just want them to be happy.
I think you secretly hate Quinlan Voss, and you wish you were Quinlan Voss.
I do wish I was Quinlan Voss. Quinlan Voss is so cool.
He is a cool guy, and we don't really know a whole lot about him, canon-wise.
Yeah. Right. If only one of us had read the Dark Disciple novel.
I mean, we know that canon-wise now, he lives through the initial purge somehow because he writes his name at that at the Star Wars Underground Railroad type deal during Kenobi. I mean, we don't know when he came through, but he came through at some point.
Yes, because I'm pretty sure the Dark Disciple novel starts before the end of the Clone Wars, because I think, I could be totally wrong, but I believe him and Asajj somehow come together. They try to assassinate Dooku. It fails, and then the rest of the novel takes place like right after the fall of the Empire, if I remember, or fall of the Republic, if I remember correctly.
Well, you are right that it was based on unproduced episodes of the Clone Wars, because it says it right here at the bottom of the book.
Hell yeah. See, I know what I'm talking about sometimes.
Well, I'm using that in A New Dawn as a little stand for my mic.
Okay, hell yeah. Also, I've got a good frame of her lightsaber. It's a little, it's dark, so I can't tell exactly. It's definitely curved like her other ones. But I think the design's a little different, but it's too dark, I can't tell for sure.
Oh no, we'll have to research and get back to it in the next episode.
Yeah, I'll look into it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. I know we hardly talked about Bad Batch for the second episode in the row, but we appreciate you being here.
It happens. Tuck's not here. And we had fun.
Yeah, it was a really good really good. Like I said, one of my favorite of the series, but not crazy like story important. But that's gonna change. These next few, I think, are all really important.
I sure hope so, because I've needed some better story progression, more than the last couple episodes.
Sorry, this is something I wanted to talk about at the very beginning of the episode when we were talking about kind of struggling with the Bad Batch.
It's fine. Put it in here at the end.
Finish that conversation at the end. No, I think part of the reason that we're struggling a little more compared to like Clone Wars is Clone Wars had dedicated arcs with dedicated characters, and when that arc was over, it switched to a different arc. Maybe it would be the same characters, maybe it would be a whole different set of characters. And it was like, yes, Obi-Wan, Anakin, Ahsoka, Rex, Cody, they were the main characters, but we got lots of arcs with different characters, and I think it helped keep it fresh. Compared to Bad Batch, where we're following the same set of characters every episode, which isn't a bad thing. It's just different.
Well, I mean, initially, I didn't really like it. I think whenever it first came out, because we were pretty young whenever Clone Wars came out. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But in its initial running and everything, how it kind of did that anime style thing where some arcs were at the beginning of the war, and then you'd be in the middle of a season and it'd be like, here's an arc from season 3 that never got finished.
Yes. I will never watch the Clone Wars in release order again.
Yeah, I've never watched it to where it lines up. I've always just watched it as the seasons go or whatever.
So I have a massive document that is the entire Star Wars timeline in chronological order, including breaking down the Clone Wars episodes in their timeline order, with where Tales of the Jedi and other stuff will cut in, which I plan to keep updating. I will send that to you, and maybe once we get our website up and running, I'll put that on there, maybe as a bonus for our backers, or I might just give it out to everybody. I don't know, but it is my proudest achievement in life. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I have other things I'm proud of. But I am very proud of this note that I have.
This is your David.
Yes, I don't understand the reference. So, but yes.
You know the statue. Like the
Oh,
great-
my statue of David. Yes,
Yeah.
my Magnus Opus.
yes,
My Mona Lisa.
yes. This is it.
And one day, once they stop making Star Wars, I can't do it now because they keep making Star Wars content. One day, I'm going to sit and I will watch the entire thing from beginning to end in chronological order, and it will be glorious.
So do you like watching Clone Wars better that way?
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Does it
just
really
makes-
make an
it just makes-
impact?
Yeah, because like you said, there are arcs where like it's just really randomly put. You know, like the arc where Cad Bane attacks Coruscant and it's this big thing.
Yeah.
You know, but then like 2 or 3 seasons later, we get the storyline where Obi-Wan, pretends to be a bounty hunter, and that's supposed to lead up to the Coruscant attack. And that confused me so much when I first watched it because obviously they talked about everything leading up to it, and then it just never happened. Which, I mean, it did, but just way before.
Yeah, I can't remember if the attack on the Senate is... Well, that arc has to be first, because then the arc of how Cad Bane gets the job happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's a third arc of where it's after the Senate attack, what happens to Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Because he returns to Now Hutta and gets killed because he runs away with that singer chick to get the book that's at his dad's grave. That's like all of this information on different groups and stuff. Like it's all this blackmail type information. And Quinlan Vos shows up in that episode with Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool guy Quinlan Vos. See, we brought it back to this episode, kind of.
I knew we could do it. We could get there eventually. It would happen.
It is now relevant information.
It's, this show is like a journey. We know the destination, but it's like Lord of the Rings. We know we're supposed to go to Mount Doom.
He just got around a lot.
We know we're supposed to get to Mount Doom. We know how to get there. We've got the map. We've got somebody leading us. And then we somehow wind up with the elves. We somehow wind up in the middle of a battle with, Boromir's brother, and yeah, things just happen. And then
Things just happen.
Next thing you know, we're on Mount Doom and Elijah's getting his finger bit off. I don't know.
It would be me that gets my finger bit off, wouldn't it?
I mean,
it would be me.
You can be Smeagol if you want.
I will do the biting. Fear me, I am the one who bites. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening for the second time today. We really do appreciate it. If you want to be a part of this conversation, you can email us at animalsquadron@gmail.com. Again, that is animalsquadron@gmail.com. The question of the week, I think instead of just asking about the episode as a whole on Spotify, I want to ask and hear about, what did you guys think of Asajj Ventress coming back? Especially, we'd love to hear from any of you that have actually read the Dark Disciple novels. And if you're listening anywhere, you could leave us a review. That would be awesome. We'd really appreciate it.
The secondary question will be, what is your take
question.
on clone interrelationships?
Nope. Actually, it won't be.
Oh, the
I'll
second
go add
question.
that to last week's question.
The second question for this week's episode is, what do you think Elijah's chances are with Asajj Ventress on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being the least and 10 being the most.
Listen. I think she's hot. Yes. I would be too scared to talk to her, okay? I would be too scared if she was real.
All right.
Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Elijah, you sick freak. Bring back Tucker.
Tucker, come back.
That guy's normal.